I'm Catherine Daley. I'm a Sonoma County artist. A little background about myself. I used to be a photojournalist. For 10 years, I worked for the Sacramento Bee. So my artwork that is currently up for auction, which I urge you to bid high and support the museum because we need to support art. Art is the soul of our culture, and without art, we don't have a soul. So that being said, this artwork actually draws upon my deep background in photography. And let me tell you about the piece. Piece is called Quercus luminosa 2. Quercus is the Latin word for oak. Luminosa means to illuminate or shed light on. This piece is I would describe it as an outgrowth of my original piece that I created. Sometimes I will create series, and each piece is unique, but it's along the same lines of the original work. This piece is actually an outgrowth from the Kinetic Show 2019 that I was in at the museum. Very honored to do that. And so this is a much smaller piece because that piece was pretty large. It was 20 feet wide by 15 by 12. So this piece is actually would look beautiful in your office, and it would also look great in a stairwell. If you have a ceiling that can accommodate an 8-foot piece of sculpture, that would be good. Let me tell you about the leaves. The leaves are drawn from my observations of nature and also botanical drawings. I've spent a lot of time out in Pepperwood Preserve photographing nature. So the images are a compilation of a lot of those photo forays into nature. The leaves I drew up based on the blue oak, black oak, and the valley oak. And these are an artistic interpretation. They're not literal drawings of these leaves, but they're inspired by nature. So just to give you a little background about the vast majority of my work, the past 10 years has been inspired by nature. Why nature? Because no matter what your tradition is, we all came from the earth, right? We all came up from that. And so my hope in this artwork is to inspire people to connect with nature. I'm trying to bring the outside inside. And I find that we actually, if we're inspired, we care. If we care, we protect and we preserve. And so that has been my focus for the past 10 years. I feel very passionately about saving the beauty of our planet because I would like to see perhaps our children, our grandchildren have a beautiful place to live. That's my hope. So to go back to the leaves are inspired by nature. After I designed that, I had them laser cut. It's the best way to cut plexiglass. They're sandwiched, and I have a shoulder, it's a shoulder precision screw that goes through. So these are beautiful stainless screws. They're very beautifully made. And they're affixed to the metal framework, which is suspended from a plate. Each one of those pieces of metal that the plexiglass is attached to was hand forged, had to heat it. It was actually very exciting. Bang it with a hammer and then quench it, and then you have to drill it. And then after you do that, then the next thing I had to do was I had to weld it. So those are all welded. I had to weld all of those. All 16 leaves were welded on to the metal rods. The rods were bent by hand. I spent a lot of time getting that just right. And just for the folks that are interested in sculpture, sculpture is based on a lot of math and geometry. And so those elements play a lot into my artwork. I'm always thinking about numbers. You want to make sure you have that right. And there's this referencing of the golden mean, a lot of different things that go into artwork. And if you look for it, you'll actually see it. So then the whole piece is affixed to a plate. The plate has 6 screws, so it'll be very nicely fastened to your wall. It will not fall down. The original piece that I created was based on the idea of the tree of life. We have a lot of references of the tree of life in our literature, and the oak tree was chosen because I feel like the oak tree is so representative of this county. And for the people that lived here, the original people, the Wapa, the Pomo, the Miwok, the oak tree was their tree of life. That was the tree that sustained them all. That was, they ground their acorns and made their breads for that. So I wanted to honor the area that we live in and pay homage to the original people who lived here. And also, I view my piece as a metaphor for the delicate balance in life and in nature that, without that balance, things get out of whack. And so that's my thought behind that. Also, the piece, I chose the plexiglass because I really wanted to infuse light. The plexiglass captures that light and you'll create the shadow, light and dark, the shadow, again, a metaphor. And also, I feel like at this point, we all need a little more light in our life. So thank you for listening to me. And I urge you to support your museum. Thank you.